Hey guys, welcome to Dr. Durag. I'm your host, Dr. Durag himself, and today we'll be talking about his relationships and the advice that goes into them. So stay tuned. And welcome back. So, what we're talking about relationships, everything about them, what you need to know, how to make one last. I'm not going to sit here and say I have all the answers to them. I've just, had my fair share of relationships, I would like to say. And I've been well traversed in different relationships. So, pretty much this is coming from a combination of all of that, letting you all know how I wared in different relationships, but how you also can wear. So, understand this, I am not perfect. These are just some things I took away from it. Biggest thing, number one, right off the list, right off the bat, is effective communication. What does communication look like? How do you effectively do it? And when is it necessary? And the answer to all of that is yes. It's always necessary. If you don't know what communication is, you probably aren't in a relationship. And how do you use it? Well, again, you probably wouldn't be in a relationship if you didn't communicate. But yeah, so that's the first point. We're just gonna communication. Communication down to a science is one human trying to relay a message to another human by a means of different ways of communicating. That can be a hand sign, that can be a body gesture, that can be a vocal response, that can be a smoke signal, anything, as long as the message is relayed from one human to another. Now, in a relationship, you'll realize there's a lot of that in every aspect, because a relationship cannot work at all if you do not have any communication. But a relationship can last if you have effective communication. Now, what exactly is that? Well, effective communication is when you know who it is that you're talking to, who it is you're dealing with, and with you having this knowledge at hand, you're able to effectively relay the message in a way that this person understands, but also you're able to receive the message properly. So making sure that that is down and that you have that in any relationship that you have is key. You could talk with someone who might see red as blue and you see blue as red. But what you all have to understand is that you understand this person has a difference of perspective from you. So they might not have the same thoughts that you have. Instead, what you might realize is, okay, I need to figure out the bridge between these two things, because at the end of the day, they might see blue as red and I might see red as blue, but it's still gonna make purple. So you have to come to the common ground and understanding where this person is at, what they're doing with their lives, and how I can effectively let them know what it is that needs to be conveyed. I've seen a ton of relationships that have ended off of that one simple fact, someone not being able to see another person's point of view. Someone's point of view is literally their whole world. That's the lens that they see everything through. And if you can't understand that their point of view is different from yours, well, then you're no better than what you're trying to communicate to them, because they'll never get it. It's like trying to send a message in space. There's no connection in space. How are you going to send a message? I'll use an example from one of my exes. She wanted something more in the relationship that I didn't know and I couldn't fully understand, and we both couldn't communicate properly with each other in order for that thing to come to fruition. Now, what it was affection. She wanted me to show more affection towards her, but I thought that I was doing everything properly, and I didn't know she was trying to convey to me that she wanted this affection more. Now, that's where stuff starts to happen. Now, I'm not saying this is all her fault. No, it's not at all, because it's mine. Because one, I wasn't seeing the signs. I didn't realize who I was working with. I didn't realize who I was dealing with. So, because of that, I wasn't able to take the information that she was trying to relay to me. So that one's on me. I didn't read the signs. And that's very important, especially for romantic relationships. But that's another thing we're going to get into in the next point, is different types of relationships. But for now, we're going to stick with this one. I need to make sure that when I'm in a romantic relationship, I understand fully who it is I'm working with, because now their feelings are more involved than anything else. And feelings drive a lot of different people, and you have to be able to take care of that. The second step to an effective relationship is understanding what type of relationship it is that you're in. And that doesn't always necessarily mean you're in a romantic type relationship. There are plenty of different relationships, and all of them within your own life, and you'll have to understand that one day. You have different relationships, like your relationships at work, you have your relationships with your classmates, teammates, you have relationships with your family, you have relationships with your friends, you have relationships all around. But the way to effectively have these relationships be in a positive manner is for you to understand what type of relationship it is and make sure it's categorized in that way, because that's very important. One thing that people have happen is they will start to blur the lines in between different relationships, and that's not the way you want to be. That's not how you want to act. That's not how you want to go, because when you start to blur the lines with relationships, when you introduce someone else into the fray, they might think that they have that blurred experience as well, and you might not want them to have that blurred experience, or you want them to have that blurred experience, but they don't want to have that blurred experience. So you need to make sure you have your categories aligned properly. You never want these to blend together. You never want them to really overlap, although it may seem like a great idea to have this group of friends be cool with this group of friends, and that group of relationships be accustomed to seeing this group of relationships. And it's up to you to be able to have that balance and understand what the different avenues of your life are and what all relationships consist in them. Because if you can't, then you're gonna have a bad time. Now, with that being said, the rest of this video is actually going to be focused more on the relationship type, the romantic relationship type. We're going to be focused more on that and how that effectively works, and we're going to see what really breaks it down and what builds it up, and making sure that that works for you in the future. So if you were looking for any other type of relationship talk, sorry, not in this video. Now, let's go back to the effective communication point, because there's a lot that goes into effective communication, and really just the word effective with everything that happens. Effective describes any action that you do to go and get a desired result. And when you go and you have a relationship and you want to effectively communicate, you're going to do whatever it takes possible to have effective communication. Now, like I said previously, everything in your relationship needs to be effective. Everything. Every single thing in the relationship needs to be effective. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by making everything effective? Pretty much what I mean with that is saying that you don't just do stuff to do stuff. Everything needs to have a purpose. Everything needs to have a reason, and everything needs to have a clear-cut goal as to why you're doing it. If it doesn't have a clear-cut goal, 9 times out of 10, you probably shouldn't do it. Now, effective communication also means that you're going to have to go out and ask questions. You're going to need to ask whoever is in that relationship with you questions, understanding who they are, what they're like, what it is that they want, what it is that makes them tick. You're gonna have to go and ask these questions, because that's how it works. You can't base your actions off of anything, any pre-notion that you think goes with this person. Get the clarity. Understand who the person is, understand what they're like, and get the clarity before you go and act. Because trust me, you'll save yourself a lot of time. One more thing that I want to throw in there for relationships, please understand who it is that you're working with, and have intentional relationships. Understand what intentionality means. Don't just get into a relationship with someone because of shallow reasons. There needs to be a deeper reason as to why you have a relationship with this person, and why it's such a deep relationship that you want to have with this person. Now, this goes for every aspect of every relationship that you have. And some of them are default you're going to need a deep relationship with. Others, not necessarily you will get to choose. But in everything, you need to find that reason to keep that relationship going, to keep that relationship flowing, and to keep that relationship above water. Because you want to make sure that these effective relationships that you have with people work. You don't want to just get with somebody because they look cute or they look pretty and stuff like that. No, because a lot of people let that go to their head and they end up having a horrible personality. But you want to know that person. You want to know what makes them tick, what makes them laugh, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. You want to understand that, and you want to build on it, or you want to decrease from it. You want to make sure that the person that you are in a relationship with understands that they are safe when talking to you. And that's the greatest thing ever. Now, I kind of am talking more on the relationship of romance, but that still applies to everything. Even with your relationship with your parents, they are humans too, and they were once kids or young, just like you. You want to make sure you have an effective relationship with them in any way possible. Sometimes it works out, sadly, sometimes it doesn't, but you still want to try and do your part to build a relationship, even if it's not there. Now, for some people that's possible and other people it's not, and I understand, but you want to try and make at least an effort, if you can, to have a good relationship with your parents. Now, that goes again towards everything. You want to make sure that every relationship that you have is good, is solid. With your friends, why are you friends with these people? Is it beneficial for you to be friends with these people, or is it not? You want to make sure that you really can see the difference, because if you are being harmed more than you are being helped in your friendships, what's the point? What's the purpose? The company that you keep affects you, and that is a fact. Now, but one thing I want to make sure that you all understand is that in every single friendship that you have, every single relationship that you have, make sure you're still yourself. Don't lose yourself for the sake of a relationship. You still are you at the end of the day. No one else is going to live in your skin. No one else is going to walk in your shoes. No one else is going to understand who you truly are. Regardless of how much you're open with someone or how much someone is open with you, you'll still never truly know who that person is, because you don't have the same thoughts as that person. So understand that at the end of the day, you are yourself. So don't lose yourself for a relationship. And that's the biggest thing I want you all to get from this video. Don't lose yourself. Understand who you are and stand by who you are. And if someone can't accept you for who you are, you probably don't need to be close with them anyway. Alrighty, so that's the end of the regular episode, but we do have a small business that we will be showing off today. And this is Atira Lions. This is a business stationed out in California. They do so many different types of clothing products. It's insane. But the biggest thing that they do that I love, they do do-rags. And these do-rags are elite. This is what I have on now. You guys can't feel it, but I feel it, and it feels beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. I even have a turban from them. I have another do-rag coming in from them. They are great. These special edition do-rags actually come in this gold box, and these are wonderful. I absolutely love it. There will be a link in the description to their website below. Please go and support this small-owned, black-owned business. Please. She is a great person, does great business, absolutely wonderful. Love doing business with her. Make sure you guys go out and support this business, because these businesses need support. And not only do they need it, we should give it. So, with that being said, yes, I am a doctor. Don't ask for my degree. Every do-rag I own is another PhD. Doc out.